Ragazzi, voi mi vedete quasi sempre qui, in questa stanza, che poi è casa mia, dove registro le puntate di JUVENTUS WOMEN. In realtà però il mio lavoro si svolge soltanto al 10-20% all'interno di queste mura. Molto spesso sono in giro. Oggi, per esempio, devo andare a Vinovo per intervistare Abi Brighton, con cui la Juventus Women ci ha concesso il piacere di interfacciarci. Dobbiamo andare perché c'è poco tempo, io sono già in ritardo. Passiamo un attimo in redazione a prendere Francesco, il responsabile dell'area video, e poi ci catapultiamo a Vinovo. Nuova puntata di Women's Zone. Ecco il nostro uomo, a lei, pronti per l'intervista?
Che bello! Allora Mauro, raccontaci, dove stiamo andando?
Stiamo andando in quel di Vinovo, Juventus Training Center, per avere il piacere di intervistare Abi Brighton, centrocampista americana, classe 2002 della Juventus Women, arrivata a gennaio, che arriva dal magico mondo dei college americani, da Vanderbilt University, nonostante lei si chiami Brighton e quindi richiami questa cittadina del sud dell'Inghilterra, nota almeno a me per le vacanze studio e i gabbiani enormi che mangiano i panini sul lungomare dalle mani degli studenti. Però Brighton non c'entra assolutamente niente con tutto questo, e niente, è l'ennesima pescata della Juve dei college. Erano già arrivati in passato Grosso e Ceghini, che sono state due operazioni particolarmente fortunate. E cosa cambia però? Cambia il metodo di reclutamento, perché questa volta la Juve ha deciso di non affidarsi ad agenti o a intermediari, ma di fare reclutamento diretto sul territorio. In che modo? Tramite un referente che lavora nel calcio professionistico americano. Si è fatto un lavoro di osservazione, di scouting, in base anche a quelle che erano le esigenze della Juve, cioè di andare a prendere una centrocampista di rottura. Si è visionato questo profilo e poi l'attività di scouting è stata finalizzata attraverso il lavoro di Massimiliano Mazzetta, che è il vice di Stefano Braghin, che è andato lì a seguire le finals universitarie in Florida, unico club europeo tra l'altro ad andare a seguire le finals. Si è deciso effettivamente di puntare su Abi Brighton e di anticipare tutti i club professionistici americani che da quest'anno non possono più contare sul draft, che drenava un po' tutto il talento delle giocatrici più forti che uscivano appunto dai college. Quindi grande puntualità, proprio come un gabbiano, pescata a Brighton e portata a Torino. Tra l'altro il suo impatto sulla Juve in queste prime giornate di campionato in Coppa Italia è stato veramente importante. Buondì, Mauro Bunno e Francesco Calabrò siamo qui per l'intervista. Nice to meet you, Mauro.
Nice to meet you, Francesco.
Nice to meet you. I'm one of the happiest people I know. According to my friends, I smile a lot. I think I'm funny. I laugh at my own jokes at least. I think I'm just very go with the flow, some people might say. And one thing is I used to be an attacking midfielder in soccer, I guess football now. But up until I got to Vanderbilt, and then I switched to more like the defensive side. It's actually a funny story. I had an old physio person at Vanderbilt. His name is Simon. He DM'd me on Instagram and he was like asking about like my plans kind of for my future and like if I wanted to play overseas. And at this point in my career, I was kind of in the middle of my season at Vanderbilt. So I wasn't even thinking about it because I was like, I want to focus on like my time here and just kind of finish out my time here and what I committed to Vanderbilt. I kind of stopped responding to him on Instagram. It was at a tournament that the scouts from here approached my dad. And then my dad after the game was like, hey, like, you know, Juventus is interested. Like the scouts came up to me and I was like, wow, that is probably who he was talking about. So yeah, it's a very interesting because he went to college with the scout in America. So that was that connection. But yeah, and then from there on, we just kind of started talking. I'd say it was definitely the support from my family and my friends. I'm religious, so I prayed about it, and I felt like I was, between everything, it was just, you know, everything was pointing towards I should come here. I think definitely the biggest thing was my family and my friends were like, dude, you have to go. Like, and it was kind of a little nerve-wracking because it was so new and everything happened so quickly, but with everyone being so supportive, it was so helpful because I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss everyone, but they were like, this is like such an amazing opportunity, like you have to do it. So that was definitely a big motivator. I think it was more just like, I felt very appreciative. I really appreciated the time I had at Vanderbilt, and then I also appreciated everyone who was excited and curious about me coming here. And then because everyone was so excited and curious, it kind of amped me up and I also got excited. It just felt a lot more welcoming than I thought it was going to feel. So that definitely helped. I really did appreciate all that. Definitely the lack of school, because at university it was practice in the morning and then school all day. I actually have no idea how I did it because, I mean, here I feel like I wake up and I go to practice and that's the only thing I have on my day, but then I feel like my day is so full. So I have no idea how I did practice and school in college, but I do think that the discipline that college kind of gave me helps me here also. So I definitely say it's just, I have a lot more time on my hands, but it's just because I don't have any school to do. Then now I can pick up other things, like learning Italian. I really like Turin. I think it's beautiful. I'd say, I mean, everyone's been so amazing. Like, I wouldn't say there's one particular person that is like, oh, like this person is helping me so much. Everyone has been so amazing and the girls are so welcoming. Everyone's so kind. But I'd say it definitely helped coming here with Matilda because, you know, we were at the J Hotel together, we ate dinner together. So definitely in the first like couple weeks, I'd say that made the transition a lot easier because I wasn't the only new person. But obviously, like after a couple weeks, you start to break into the team and like with the girls, and then everything just kind of starts to come together. My dad played football in college. He was a goalkeeper, and then my brother also played, and my brother's 24, I'm 22. So when we were both younger, he was kind of getting into soccer and kind of just getting to the point where he's starting to play more competitively. But then I think when I was about like 5, I started to play, but then it got to the point where I was like, my dad was like, hey, you should give this a try, like start to play travel soccer. And my brother did it, and he was like my idol at the time. I mean, he's still my idol, but like whatever he did, I did. So like he started to play travel soccer, so I was like, well, I want to do it. And then him and I would train together like outside. But that definitely helped me get into soccer, and then obviously I started to go from there. It definitely took me a couple weeks, I think, to like break into soccer here. It was just different compared to how I am used to playing. So I think once I got kind of everything down and kind of just used to playing with the people around me and used to the way the coaches coach, and just the way we play overall, I kind of started to settle in more, and I kind of just tried to not put a lot of pressure on myself. I was trying to give myself a little bit of grace, just because I am in a completely new environment. I did move very far from home. Like, I miss my family and my friends, but I mean, I feel like that comes with being in a new environment. Like, you have to just be uncomfortable for a little bit and just know that you're going to be uncomfortable, and eventually like you will like find your rhythm. So I think I just found my rhythm. I've always been a physical player, but then when I got to Vanderbilt, one of my coach's favorite sayings was leave your feet. And so every single time during practice, during games, like if there was a tackle that you could have like left your feet and done a slide tackle, it's like you better leave your feet and tackle that ball. I think just practicing that for the past like 4 or 5 years definitely transformed my play physically. I'd like to say I really like the technical aspect of soccer, but also being at Vanderbilt, I think, developed my physical play. Maybe a little, just because, I mean, again, the more comfortable I get, the more I will start to like show, not even show, but like just kind of do things with the ball that I would typically do. and being in a new environment, like I kind of started to play a little safe just because, you know, like I don't want to mess up. I'm the new person. I think once, and I'm still like in the process of getting comfortable, but I'm getting there. Maybe a little underestimated, especially since I used to be an attacking player. I know I have like the technical abilities under my belt. And again, there's a right and wrong time to do some stuff. Like, no, not particularly. It was kind of just, if I scored, I just ran to the closest teammate I could and just gave him a hug, because, I mean, a lot of times I scored, it was never just like an individual effort. It was always like with the team. So I'm going to celebrate whoever assisted me, or I'm going to celebrate with the person next to me. Obviously, if I score here, same goes for here. Yeah, his English is very good. Yeah, his English is awesome. No, it's a good relationship. I really appreciate his time that he's taken to just kind of like be patient with me and explain things to me, especially like tactically, because we do things differently here than I used to play, so I've been appreciating his help a lot. Probably, I mean, tactically, it took me a second to kind of get used to the way we defend, so it's more just like we're man-to-man a lot, so I'd say just making sure I'm like tracking my player and like I'm on my player at all times, unless we obviously change. And then for me, it's more like body positioning. Like in my position, it's like 360. I need to know everything going on around me, and I think my body positioning helps a lot at that. And especially at this level, you kind of have to be more like aware of your body positioning, because everyone around you is so good that you can't really, like, you have to know like where your next pass is going to be. So that helps with that. I feel like Italian football is a lot more tactical. I mean, the US, it was definitely tactical, but I feel like it was a lot more on the physical side. Like if you're big and you're strong and you're fast, you can be very successful. Obviously, it was also technical and tactical, but here it's definitely tested me tactically, and like I've had to like think a little bit differently than I did there, and think a little bit more and quicker than I did in the US. I think it's just like taking it one game at a time. Like everyone's going to be very good, obviously, so there's going to be you can't focus on like your past result, and you can't be focused on the future game. Like you have to be in the present. You have to focus on the game in front of you. We went to Rome, Tuscany, and Florence. Florence was very, very busy. I liked Rome a lot. The Colosseum was really, really cool. And then after, I had to go watch Gladiator, obviously. I thought Rome was pretty cool. I did like the food better in Florence though. Yeah, I've walked around the city a couple times. Definitely dangerous in the shopping area because I need to save my money. But it's a beautiful city, and I live not too far from it, so it's definitely walkable. I love Italian cooking. I don't have a favorite dish. Yeah, honestly, I like anything because I'm such a foodie that anything that's put in front of me, I'll eat. But I'd say I typically go for the pasta, any pasta, like anything, and pizza. So yeah, I like any Italian food.
You're in the right place. Vi ricordo sempre di lasciare like a questo video, di iscrivervi al canale di JuventusNews24.com, potete anche abbonarvi per avere accesso ad ulteriori contenuti e lasciate un commento con le vostre impressioni su questa intervista.